Well, Steve, not necessarily. Again, you answered, I think, with the way you started the question. He's a veteran guy. He's been through a lot. He's been gone, traded. He's done a lot. There's been a lot of things that have happened in his career, and I don't know if he's ever got off to this kind of a start before. I really haven't looked at it, but it's part of the game that you got to learn how to get through. And certainly, being a veteran guy, he's got to be able to handle it mentally. And I think he can, because I don't think he'd still be in this league as long as he has been if he couldn't handle things mentally.
Have you noticed anything in his demeanor? I mean, he's such a positive, upbeat guy all the time. Is he still that way, or is it taking a toll?
Well, he's still a pretty positive guy. There's still smiles that, but just like today, he came out and hit extra, and you could see, there was some real intenseness there. You could tell hey, look, I got to get this figured out, and we've got to get it offensively. But, pop-up was, certainly he made the right decision. It was his ball, and I don't know if Travis, kind of out of the corner of his eye, thought Travis was there or not. I'm not really sure, but we know he's a good player, and he'll start playing better.
Tony.
Terry, just to follow up on that, I mean, the pop-up and even getting caught on the bases, I know he didn't get out, those are uncharacteristic things for him. Is there any fear in your mind that this tough start he's off to at the plate has kind of consumed him a little bit and it's on his mind?
Yeah, I think, Tony, again, he's only we still have to go back in the fact that, he's a guy who's I'm sure he's frustrated. I'm sure he's extremely frustrated. He's had a great career here. He loves to play here. He's not playing up to his capabilities, and I'm sure he's a little frustrated. I don't think, and it starts to play on you mentally. But as I said, this is the major leagues, and when you played here for 11 years or whatever Jose's been in this league, you got to be able to get through this, and you got to be able to deal with it mentally because the younger players are watching you, and so it's about how you go about things and how you go about trying to fix them and change things, and we'll continue to work at it.
Matt.
You haven't used Familia not being here as an excuse, but do you think with some of the struggles that the bullpen's had the last few nights, do you think this unit is just taxed without one of its best guys? Do you see something going on the last few days?
Well, a number of guys, yeah, they're taxed. There's no question. I don't think they're taxed today. We just had a nice day off, followed, and a couple of guys have had a couple of days off leading up into to today. So, but they have been taxed. There's no question about it. But, you deal with what you got, and you got to go out there, and you still got to get outs. You still got to make pitches, and that's what we're not doing. We're not making pitches. We saw it again today. Fernando goes out there, has 2 easy outs, and all of a sudden lost a release point again. And you look at a couple other guys are out there, and I look Rafael. He's got 3 hitters, 0-1 or 0-2, gives up hits, 0-2. You got to make better pitches than that. And so, but I still think, it's frustrating right now because we've dropped 4 in a row, but we'll dig out of it. We'll get our way out, get through it.
Joe.
So Terry, Zach pitched well, but he had a very high pitch count over 5 innings. Is that just the cost of doing business of the type of pitcher he is? He's going to be running up pitch counts.
If you go back over his short career up here, I think he's averaged 5 1/3 innings in his career. So he is a guy that throws a lot of pitches. We certainly hope that, as we get into the warmer months, warmer days, that, he gets deeper into games because you can't just keep using your bullpen up, especially right now with the way they've pitched. But I thought Zach threw the ball again. I thought he's coming along fine. I think his pitches are coming along fine. We just got to get the location down and to where he get you through the 6th and into the 7th inning a little bit more. But I think the best part is he's healthy. He feels good, and I think moving forward he's going to be fine.
Steve.
Terry, did you notice with Zach a particular difference tonight versus when he was in Philadelphia? It seemed like he was getting a ton of ground balls in Philly his last start and more in the air today.
Yeah, that was exactly what happened. But again, I think in Philly, due to the fact that, it just had a little bit better grip without the cold and the wind. I think you saw better movement in Philly, and therefore got some more ground balls. Today, he was, his command, he was, a lot of balls that got in some deep counts a lot. So, which he didn't do in Philly. I thought he commanded the ball very, very well in Philly. And but again, as I told him tonight, I said, hey, this is just another step. They're not always going to be all moving really high forward. You're going to, once in a while, have a little down, and then you got to kick it back in. But I tell you, I've been impressed with the way he's gone about things since he's been back, because you think about anybody who hasn't pitched in this league in 2 years and goes out yet, and he's handled himself every single outing so far. He's kept us in the game, and that's all we can ask. He hasn't lost control or anything else. He's kept us in there, so he's been pretty good.
Dave.
Terry, with Reyes, you've already been forced to move him down in the lineup from the leadoff spot. Is he at a point now that you would consider giving him a break and playing somebody else right now, or is it too early to kind of make those kind of decisions?
Dave, I've sat him a couple days, put somebody else out there. As I've said before, he has earned the right to try to work his way out of it. And I don't have a number of at-bats in mind. I don't know if it has to be 125 or 130, but it's in that area. I have seen some of the best players in the game get off to horrible starts, and yet at the end of the season look up and are right where they need to be. And the one thing, as you guys know, you've got to be very, very careful of, especially with a veteran, and that's look like you're giving up on him. And that's not going to happen here.